clean coal suffers more blows. For some time, proponents of coal in the US, Australia, and many other coal-dependent economies have put their faith in the promise of so-called clean coal technology, also referred to as carbon capture and sequestration, or CCS. The basic idea is to capture most, if not all, of the carbon associated with the coal combustion and to store it somewhere, usually in a sealed underground reservoir or chamber. The fundamentals are known and have been successfully demonstrated on a laboratory scale. The challenge has been to scale it up to commercial size whilst keeping the costs manageable. And that, to put it mildly, has proven a tough nut to crack. The coal lobby in the US and elsewhere says it's only a matter of time, more R&D funding, and more patience. The anti-coal lobby calls it the whole idea a farce and dismisses clean coal as being an oxymoron. Speaking at the Bloomberg New Energy Finance Conference in April 2017, former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg called carbon capture a figment of the imagination and total nonsense. Undaunted, Southern Company, a vertically integrated utility with subsidiaries serving southeast US, decided to give clean coal technology a try. One of its subsidiaries, Mississippi Power, embarked on an ambitious project to develop and demonstrate the viability of the concept. The 582 megawatt integrated gasification combined cycle plant in Kemper County, Mississippi, was designed to convert locally mined lignite into synthesis gas, then capture and store up to 65% of the plant's carbon emissions. It was hoped that the plant will be operational by May 2014 and was forecast to cost around $2.4 billion. In late May 2017, after 3 years of delays, the company announced that its project's costs had climbed to $7.5 billion and the facility was no longer fully operational. An earlier analysis had concluded that the projected long-term natural gas prices and, to a lesser extent, an increasing operating cost of the project negatively impact the economic viability of Kemper. Translated into plain English, the plant cannot compete with current or projected low gas prices. Defending the company's decision to proceed with the integrated gasification combined cycle technology, Southern CEO Tom Fanning explained to analysts with some justification that when we had this plant certified, we all thought that gas prices were going to be in double digits. An analysis done by the Mississippi Public Service Commission concluded that the project was only economic with much higher natural gas prices moving forward, an unlikely scenario given the shale boom in the US. Making matters worse for Southern Company is the fact that the fate of its 2 unfinished nuclear plants in Georgia also hang in the balance, as well as its balance sheet now that Westinghouse Electric has filed for bankruptcy protection. Knowing what he knows today, Fanning likely wishes that he had not started either venture. So, after investing 7 years and $7.5 billion, the operators decided the coal gasification process was more complicated and more expensive than initially assumed. Coincidentally, at about the same time, 2 European power companies, France's ENGIE and Germany's UNIPER, have also decided to withdraw from a test project to capture and store carbon dioxide generated by one of the several major new coal plants in the Netherlands. Again, another setback for the clean coal technology movement. The idea of keeping otherwise dirty power stations, factories and manufacturing plants running while simultaneously preventing them from emitting vast amounts of CO2 into the atmosphere sounds fantastic in theory. More than that, when faced with a rapidly warming planet, there are plenty of experts who think it's essential that this theory becomes a reality over the next few decades. Yet carbon capture and storage technologies still have an air of mystery around them, having never really grabbed the public, political or industrial attention in the way that renewables or electric vehicles have barged their way into the mainstream over the last few years. Given the recent setbacks, anyone hoping for a viable CCS technology at a cost that would compete with today's low natural gas prices, especially in the US, will have to wait a while longer, maybe a lot longer.